Well, hi, good morning. Welcome to my shop here. It's April 13th. It's a gray, rainy day. So I'm in the shop. Yesterday was a beautiful, sunny, warm day. I was outside the whole day. Now I have a sore back because of all the stuff I did outside. So, story on this radio. This has been sitting aside for, I don't know how long now, 3 weeks maybe? While I work on other radios, including one almost identical to this one, in hopes of discovering something. The other radio, very much like this one, identical in many respects, turned out the FM alignment was way out on it. And once that was corrected, and I didn't even do a full alignment job, just correcting part of the alignment brought the whole thing back fantastic. So this suggests to me, well, maybe the same thing's going on with this radio, because I believe it's in working condition, except the FM reception's very poor. So the day before yesterday, I was in my shop here, fiddling around with it. I fiddled around with the alignment, getting more and more. I don't know what the word is. Pushing the alignment further and further, involving more of the adjustments. And in fact, I ended up concluding that yes, the alignment on this radio is also the cause for the weak FM. And so today what I want to do is a proper alignment. The other day I was just fooling around, trying to prove to myself one way or the other, alignment is the key or alignment is not the key. So we're going to do the whole FM alignment here, including the IF and the RF oscillator, all that stuff. And hopefully, when I'm done, the radio's really going to be working well. That's what I think is going to happen. Yes. Okay, so before I get started, let's play the radio and find out what state it's in. Now, I mentioned I fiddled around 2 days ago with the radio and got quite a good response without using any equipment, just using my ear and twiddling a few of these adjustments. Prior to doing that, to hear an FM station on this radio with a crappy antenna at the back here, I had to have this volume up about 90%. When I was done, I had to have the volume up about 25% to get and a better, clearer response. And that's why I'm convinced better alignment will probably bring this guy back. So let's hear what it sounds like. So you can just watch my hand here on the volume. So that's already, to get that level of volume, I had to turn this thing virtually all the way up before. And we'll tune in the station here.
We spoke with people on the ground who say that there is no reason to continue to speak or to work with the Taliban. What gives you the sense that that's important?
Well, what's planned? Not going to be another war, taking the Taliban out. They've won the war after 20 years. They're in control. They'll be in control for the foreseeable future. The alternative is to, yes, sure, everybody's free not to talk to them.
Great. Okay. So, as you can see, it's actually working fairly well, surprisingly well. Better than I had imagined I could get out of an alignment, but because of the last radio, the other radio, I became interested in alignment again, and a good thing. So now we're going to do the IF alignment, which I'm pretty sure is pretty good as it is, but I want to double check it. So I'm going to hook up the signal generator from over here, feed it into the tube. By the way, the tube that's in here is it's supposed to be an ECC 85, which is the same as a 6AQ8. I don't have a 6AQ8 to put in there. I put in a 12BZ7. 12BZ7 is a similar tube, supposedly with less gain. I compared this particular tube, on the tube tester against a known to be good enough ECC 85 that's in the other radio that's working well. And this one actually tests better with the ECC 85 settings on the tube tester for this tube. So my suspicions about problems with the tube are kind of greatly reduced. it's all about the alignment here. Okay, let me get the thing set up so we can do the IF part of this.
Be more peace in Somalia and for people to be able to go back. Some people have a different story. In Caruso is a moment where we have made interesting investment. We've been allowed by the goodwill, the openness of the local Kenyan authorities. And we're working with financial institutions.
Okay, so that gives you an idea of what voltage is being developed on the detector, the FM detector, and while tuned to a regular station with a lousy antenna hooked up, by the way. So that's the kind of numbers we should be looking for while doing the alignment. So we're around 6 meters on the 50 volt scale, so that's actually around 15 volts there, between 15 and 20 volts. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, first thing I want to do is just check out my signal generator and what frequency it's actually putting out. That was interesting. So that's the FM antenna coming out. And all that's left feeding the radio now is a signal generator through this sleeve here around the tube. Carefully taped up and insulated sleeve. Here we go. So watching the meter. Very close to 10.7. 10.7 would really be about like that. There we go. Okay, and I need the adjuster. Watching that meter while I turn this. Start down here. Now some of these I have to turn with a small screwdriver, metal screwdriver. I just don't think that's going in. Some of these slugs are very sensitive to the metal screwdriver, others are not. Slug. Okay, now I'm going to pull out the screwdriver. Made no difference. Okay, now we'll check this one. So lots of sensitivity there. And here too, so we can't do the metal screwdriver there, but these slugs, I believe from memory, turn easy. As I kind of expected. Now the next two to do are the transformer adjustments up here. This is where I found a tremendous change in the other similar radio and in this one too. One of the slugs, you can actually see it right at the top here, is just about ready to fall out. I'm going to drive it down. Turn it back up. You see there's a very distinct peak. Screwdriver having a small effect. So why does this slug have to be so far out? It's probably a component drift. this one. Screwdriver not making a bad effect. You see, I managed to align these fairly well, so I didn't really get much out of that, but I just want to be absolutely sure things are done their best. Now, I arranged these slugs up and down the other day, from top to bottom, all kinds of combinations. This is where it always wanted to end up. This slug almost screwed out the top, and this one turned down deep. So, is there a component that's drifted? Can't really know for sure, but why else would this slug want to be up so high? There we go. Now, the real key ones that need to be adjusted are all the rest up in the tuner here. There's quite a few adjustments to make. These ones I have not done, technically I have not done with equipment. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to stop for a little bit here, read the instructions carefully, and then carry on. So I've decided to remove the 2 output tubes while I'm doing this work because these things are getting so hot. I'm going to burn myself on them. I used a fan to cool them off before I pull them out. Good. Okay, now some time ago I installed 2 special resistors to produce a test point to be used in doing this exact alignment activity here. Tip the radio up. Some radios have these resistors in them right from the start. It's not very stable. I have to be a little careful here. That's the ground connection for my meter. There we are. I can take this, I'll leave it up like that. Resistors are up here. So I need to make sure I got a good clip lead here. Where the 200,000 ohm resistors, where they join, is a test point. Actually, and that's where this is supposed to go. And this now goes from where it was to another test point that I soldered in right here. Other radios, these test points have protuberances. They have a terminal or something soldered on the board you can spot right away, but not this one. This one I had to solder little test wires, little temporary terminals, if you like, onto it. So we have this, it says here, DC probe to point C, common point to D. So I'm just a touch uncomfortable with doing this because this is not on the chassis now, but on the other hand, I'm feeding the radio with a isolation transformer, so it shouldn't really factor in. Okay, we're ready to start up the radio. Let's just keep an eye on the dim bulbs during this startup. Everything ready? Volume is inaccessible, but I pulled out the 2 output tubes, so there's no reason to worry about the volume. Dim bulbs are behaving correctly. Okay. Just to make sure that the ground connection wasn't doing something horrible. We'll keep our eye on what the meter does. And what are we supposed to do here? A21, adjust for 0 reading. Positive or negative reading will be obtained on either side of the correct reading. And A21, I believe, is the last guy in the IF box there. Now, we've got quite a reading on there right now. Just for 0 reading. A21. 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 It's not at all what I was expecting. A21, top side adjustment, just behind the output terminals, just behind here. There's really nothing there to adjust. What's happening? They've pulled the cans off that's covering the IF here. So pointing at A21, they're pointing at the lower coil that's protruding out the back. Okay, good. That's A21 there, just as I thought. Now, 0, 0. Okay. Let me get my little tools here. Make that go to 0. Ooh, what was that? It doesn't go negative, it just swings positive on either side. That's not what it's supposed to do, is it? Adjust for 0 reading. A positive and negative reading will be obtained on either side of the correct setting. It's pretty clear. It's not going to get there. Oh my gosh, it's going all over the place. It's jumpy. Well, this isn't working out the way it's supposed to, so something's going on. What could that be? I have the meter connected properly. Let me double check that. Yeah. What are you supposed to do with that? I've got to put those tubes back in and listen to this radio, listening to a station, and see what's happened. Okay, let's start it back up here. So I'm going to take off the injection sleeve from the signal generator. I've got the lousy antenna plugged back in. It's just basically two long clip leads forming a dipole out the back of the radio. Tune in. adjust that freehand here just by listening.
These are the reports I'm getting from people. What's the lesson there about what people actually want? I don't think anybody knows what they want. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that the lesson there is, well, I'm not going to put words in your mouth. Yeah. What's the lesson there in terms of like what people can, if you give them the opportunity to do, they'll do? You know? Yeah, I think what's all of that?
Well, I think what I need to do is run through the rest of the alignment process, regardless of what's happening with this particular adjustment. And maybe things are out of sorts further up the line, and that'll correct things down here. Can't quite see how that would work, but that's really what I got to do, I think, at this point. There's another option here, which is to do the test using an oscilloscope and a sweep. I can pull that off, I think, if I really wanted to give it a try. But for now, I think we'll stick with just the VTVM. C and D adjust for zero reading. Positive and negative, but that doesn't happen. Okay, so we're going to skip down to this part of the table here. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of setup to meet their requirements. Okay, here we go with the sleeve. Back on the tube. Good. Okay, adjustment. A22. And we're adjusting for maximum. What's happening here? And I can hear the change in the radio, but the meter's not moving. Affected by a station. Definitely a spot there. Tuning in a station. What's happened to our test signal? Let me vary the frequency generator here. We'll see what happens. I'm just setting it back to 10.7. It's definitely a 10.7 signal affecting the radio. That The radio's becoming so sensitive it can pick up a station here. Is that what's happening? There is a station right there. Tuned to a null spot. That's interesting. Hardly seeing a change in that meter though. Okay, watching the meter very carefully. Let's go back down to the well, the station we were listening to earlier is gone. What is happening? Maybe that's an oscillator adjustment. I don't think so. Can't be an oscillator adjustment if I'm doing the 10.7 signal.
Charlie Puth called Hilarious, a song about one of his worst breakups ever. That's this Friday, April 8th. Here's his light switch on Fresh 93.1.
93. Did they say 93.1? That's way off from the dial.
Victory. And the presidents of Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia say they're headed to the capital of Ukraine for a meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky. More news on our website at cbc.ca/Toronto. This is CBC Radio 1, 99.1.
Well,
Weather
that's
forecast now for Barrie. A few showers ending near noon, then cloudy. Risk of a thunderstorm this morning with a high of 18. Tonight, cloudy. A few showers beginning early this evening. Risk of a thunderstorm and a low expected of 10 degrees. For Peterborough and the Kawarthas, cloudy with a 40% chance of showers late this morning and this afternoon. High of 15. Tonight, cloudy. 40% chance of showers early this evening. Risk of a thunderstorm and a low of 10 degrees.
You're listening to Q across Canada on CBC Radio 1 and across North America on Sirius XM 169 and from PRX. My name's Tom Power. If you're just tuning in,
supposed to be here.
To the rock and roll legend, the vinyl enthusiast.
So I'm going to turn that adjustment.
I'm
going to turn that adjustment slightly and try to discover if this is an oscillator. This shouldn't be the case, I don't think. Okay, turn it just a bit. What was that? Oh, son of a gun. So they changed their program material. I believe they're playing that song now.
The other record entering across the top is a Nordmende record. That's not out till right now, Fear of the Dawn.
Okay, hold it for it.
In their stride, playing live beautifully, but as you're about to hear, that full band
making a big mistake.
beautifully is just Jack by himself playing all the instruments.
Big mistake.
I spoke to Jack White from his label headquarters.
Okay, so we're going to use this sweep generator. We're going to feed in an FM signal around 88. That's what it's asking for here. 88 unmodulated. Well, there's going to be a little bit of trouble with this guy. I can't shut the sweep entirely down. It's a sweep generator and it's always sweeping a little bit. So I've got it minimized. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but let's keep going. So I have the voltage probe to the proper connection. That's for this meter here, down here. 822, adjust for maximum deflection. So the way to figure out that I'm tuned, where I'm tuned on this, because the scale is not accurate, is to look at my SDR, which is here. Let me put that right on the screen here. Okay. So now there's something going on over here to the right. I don't know what that is. My signal generator is here. It's this piece right in here. So you can see the yellow down at the bottom here. You can keep an eye on. I'm going to vary the frequency a little bit. You can see it zoomed right off screen. Bring it back. I'm going to set it on 88 as best I can. There we are. If I increase the sweep, well, it's changing the frequency a bit too. Doesn't make much difference on the in terms of sweep width, but I won't worry about that. We're going to leave it where it's set now. This is probably going to drift a little bit because it's still probably warming up. But at least we can get a start. So we have a signal at 88. Okay, now we'll go back to the radio here. Okay, I can keep an eye on the 88.
If you're interested in
88, so that's 90. 88 must be right at the very, very bottom. 90, 91, 89, 88. So it's right at the very, very bottom. I don't want to do something right down there. Set this on 89. Okay, I'm going to vary the frequency generator here until we hear it. So the sound is the sweep going back and forth. It's the frequency sweep. Now, according to the SDR, where is the signal? The signal is at 90.7. That jives with the fact that I was picking up 91.5 way down here when it should be up here. So pointer again is right here on this dot. Oh. Down here. So I was saying this drives with where I was picking up that station. So the pointer's here, and the station what we're listening to is 90.6 about here. So I'm going to try to adjust that adjustment and adjust the adjustment and the frequency generator until the radio is receiving 89 where it's tuned right now. Okay, I think I got it straight. I know what I'm doing. 89, so let me get to that. Close to 89. What I can do, you know what I can do? The signal generator is quite strong, so I'm going to set it to where I want to go, which is 89. There's something right next to 89. Might be interfering with this whole thing. So I have signal generator on 89. Now we'll see if we can find it with this adjustment up here. Back up. There it is. So jumpy. 89, coming in at 89.
And
This is 91.5.
which our producer and I
Should be there. Okay, I'm going to turn that until we hear that station. They're talking now, so we can recognize it. What happened to them? Gee.
I don't know the year of the World Cups, but I remember Italy won the World Cup. Italy chanting from the balcony to the crowd, the celebrating crowd, and I thought, holy moly, wow, could that possibly ever happen?
91.5. Wrong place, John.
Which we thought at that time, well, that was great. And now, assuming it was going to go away the next year, and it's gone, and it moved to America. What was it, the Baltimore Ravens, and then the Miami, and then the Baltimore Orioles were beating baseball, and how it was going, and as that was going, people were starting to say, hey, how come the Detroit teams aren't doing this? Then the University of Michigan started chanting it, and then their rivals, Ohio, started chanting it. And that was fun. Stories, I'm remembering these because every one of them was such a bizarre, like, head-scratching thing. I cannot understand why this is happening. It's so bizarre.
Why do you think it's happening? Why do you think that song did that?
I think there's something a little bit...
It's good.
You could get into music theory about it or something. There's almost some kind of universal melodic interval of some kind that triggers to people. And what I think also is...
Go to the other end,
possibly
do the same thing at 106.
music about it might be
Adjusting
that people are chanting
A23.
melody and not singing words, which is strange. People might, scream, we will rock you. They're saying in English, and it's a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
We will rock you. It's
corner
a
one.
rhythm chant. This is a melody. They're chanting a melody. It's very strange. And I think it's maybe in America, first time people will experience that because there's
So
soccer chant.
what's down below here is a capacitor. I'm pointing down here, right in the corner of this tuner. There's a capacitor down there, and the other day when I was twiddling around, I could not turn it, and I did not want to push it hard enough to make it turn. There's two capacitor adjustments, two capacitor trimmers in there, and both of them are stuck solid. I just didn't want to push them. Maybe if I push a little harder, they would come free and everything would be fine. How do we know it needs to be adjusted? We have to go up at this end, the other end of the dial. Either pick up a station we can recognize, which I don't think is going to happen, or give it a signal to chew on that we know the frequency of. Now there is almost no antenna in here. It's doing a lot better, no doubt about it. Okay, the pointer's right up 105.
We're sure your mornings have enough interruptions as it is, so we're giving you commercial-free mornings, weekdays from 9 till noon. Barry's best mix at work. 107.5 Cool FM.
Perfect. Lucky break there. The dial's at 107. 107.5 is up here. So we got to stretch from here to here. Is it worth trying to break free that capacitor to achieve that? Now, all we're doing is just kind of stretching it around a little bit here. It's a very little bit. I think it's worth one more a little push on that capacitor and see if we can make it turn. I was using a very small, my teeny tiny screwdriver. Let's see what happens here. tube is very hot. Okay, we're in.
Put the sprinkler on the lawn. And run through with
Can't turn
your
it.
shorts on.
Okay, I don't want to push it.
Take a drink from and change into some drier clothes.
Oh, I'm going to get a copyright hit for that. That's for sure. Okay, next one. We're going to skip that one because we can't do anything about it without, in my view, undue risk. So now the next thing is done at 90, A24. Okay, so we're at 90, A24, maximum deflection on the meter. So we'll use the signal generator. Okay, we're tuned on 90, signal generator. Yep, right on 90. Okay, and watch the meter now, or maximum deflection. We're tuning. Okay, we're ready to try. A24. 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 Second hole back. And it's a slug. Okay, A24. Maximize that meter. Got a touch more out of it. What's next? A24. Ungrounded shield over the FM converter at 10.7 again. A25, this is to adjust for minimum deflection. So put the 10.7 back on. Just move the signal generator away. Let's just check a station. Sounds pretty good. Back on around 90. Doesn't really matter. And we'll put back in. Okay, we're still on 10.7. What did the meter do? I didn't watch. Meter goes up. Okay. A25. There it is. A25 is covered with a sticker. I don't think this one's critical for the radio reception. Got a sticker over top of it, this paper sticker. Why do they stick it right on top of that? Keep your hands away from it. A25. Well, considering you're supposed to adjust for minimum, I think, and you're up in the tuner, I think this is just a trap you're adjusting. And I'm going to skip it. I'm going to go to the next one. Across FM antenna terminal with okay, so we're going to feed in a signal at 106. And adjust A26. A26 is almost certainly that other capacitor. 26. Right over here. There. Yes, it's the other stuck capacitor. That was my signal generator. That got a little quiet up here, right? You'd be forced to do those two capacitors. So we go up to the frequency is 106. Right there. 106 right on that. And try to turn the capacitor and bring up the signal generator there. Reduce the signal generator input. Signal. Do it more like that. Okay, watching the meter. Final here. Okay, another stuck trimmer capacitor. My little tiny screwdriver. Okay, screwdriver made a difference just putting in the screwdriver. Two hands. Oh, that one broke free. Okay, that's good. That's a good sign. Except I lost control of it here. Ow. Hot too. Still have this on. I shouldn't have this on anymore. Okay, can I bring it back? Okay. Now the objective of this is to force the frequency to be correct. So looking at the S, you just said that, yeah, we're tuned to 106. The signal generator is at 107.5. So what we want to do is move the signal generator slightly in the direction we want to go, which is to a higher frequency to a lower frequency. Okay, we're about halfway to 106. I'm going to try to find it. Loose enough I can use a better tool. There it is. Move the signal frequency generator just a little bit further. Six. Try to find it again. Well, in fact, we're hearing the station in there. That's pretty good. Okay, So we're at 106, and it's picking up 106. Usually you have to go back and forth on this a few times. Let's force that other capacitor. Since I got one to move, I should be able to get the other one to move. The other capacitor adjustment. You know what? No, let's not. Because it was just a A23. A23. What are you talking about? A23. A23 is the one. So we can do it right here. 106, A23. A23. Doing this out of order. Okay, I'm in. Okay, a little bit of extra muscle power now. There it goes. Better than that, I don't think. Okay, move away the frequency generator. Throw my exciting antenna over there. What do we got now? Oh, that quiets it right out. There's nothing there though. Sounds distorted to me.
He said the idea of prefabricated and modular construction isn't new.
So
But the
91.5, it's moved up a bit.
exploring this field because the economic and labor conditions weren't ripe before. Now, with a shortage of workers and tech...
Weather forecast now for Barrie, a few showers ending near noon, then
So we can
cloudy.
put it back.
Risk of a thunderstorm this
Oh, just touched it.
degree. For Peterborough and the Kawarthas, cloudy with a 40% chance of showers late this morning and this afternoon. High evening, risk of a thunderstorm and a low of 10 degrees.
Just the pressure on the slug is moving it quite a bit.
We just need to keel across. Canada Reads, it's called Canada Listens. Advise panelists debating which of their album picks is the one you need to listen to.
Okay, good. Now I'm going to go back to that last adjustment in the IF. Not in the back here. Go back here. Pretty sure to get copyright hits on this video.
This is 93.1.
Wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows.
not bad. Okay, that's pretty good where it stands now. If I put this back in the cabinet and plug in the proper FM antenna, it may work far better yet. But that's a hassle to actually pull that off. I don't want to do that until I'm really pretty much done with it. I think it's pretty good. It's certainly a lot better than it was. When I started, it was kind of a zero on FM. Okay. I think maybe that's it for today. Yeah, I think that's it for today. So thanks a lot for watching, and we're getting there.